Hi guys. I am absolutely exhausted. I feel like you can actually see it in my eyes. Um, yeah, I'm just so drained. I had a meeting with the doctor. I was kind of a little bit annoyed that the doctor didn't even apologize for not saying anything to us for 16 days. But both Jamie and I got freaked out at one point during the appointment because he started off kind of being like, "Oh, I can see improvements in her and she's so much better." And to my we want to try to get her home as soon as we can. And we were just like, "What are you talking about?" Like, we actually interrupted him and was like, no, not better whatsoever. And then we were like, she's the worst she's ever been. Like, she's being really hurtful to my brother, not so much me. She's done something to her phone, so she's not able to call me. I can only call her or something. So that's really weird. And no idea what is on my balcony right now, and I don't know if I want to know. I don't want to scream either. What is this? Oh, it's two flies. Oh, one fly? I don't even know. Two flies that just don't want to get off of each other. My gosh, that's hilarious. Okay. Wow. Seen everything. What was I saying? Oh, yes. The doctor was trying to be like, it's, I don't know. He just was, my brother and I were like, no. She's crying. She's telling my brother that he's lying all the time. And it's little things. We were told that there was an appointment the other day for this doctor's appointment. So I stayed up late on Thursday night as well as yesterday. So I knew the appointment was yesterday. But the doctors, when I called on Thursdays, the nurses said that it was actually Thursday. And so I was like, oh crap, I need to stay up. Only to discover that it wasn't. Anyways, we told my mom this. My mom knew. And then, of course, because we were told that it had changed. Even the nurses thought it had changed. Anyways, obviously it didn't, but there was some kind of miscommunication, probably because of the time difference here. It happens to the best of us. But my mom was like, you lied to me to get me off the phone, blah, 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 blah. Which, it wasn't a lie. I normally should be able to take it, but she can't, It's the same as, when she was mad at me because I needed to go to sleep. Normally she'd be like, yes, you do need to go to sleep. You need to go to work. You do need to get off the phone to me. But because she's in this state, she can't do it. And, so it was quite bad. She's talking to Dave more than we would ever like her to be doing right now. And that's not helping because he's saying things like he's so upset and he's gonna hurt himself. He's just really annoying. So we told them all that as well. She currently doesn't have her phone or her computer, so we're not exactly sure what is happening. Whether they've taken that away just for a little bit, because obviously we can't stop her from talking to him, because it's her own free will, unless that is the way of stopping it, because we kind of said, look, she is quite bad, and he is not helping. He is perpetuating the situation. So not really sure what is going on. But yeah, we were really nervous because we were like, what the actual? And so they just said, like, because she's older, it can take a little bit more time for these things to work, because we were like, this is the worst she's ever been. Like, normally we see, normally, like, things are better by now. Like, we don't normally see her regressing this much. And he's just like, yeah, the medicine takes quite a while to get in, and they have to do it at such little increments because of her age. So, and apparently each time she does have these big attacks, it can take longer to get her out of it. So that's hard. You know, they've talked about how she's got the compression socks for her legs, so they're working on that. They basically said her potassium and sodium levels are now fine because she's been in the hospital and she's eating well. They're still trying to get her sleeping under control. Yeah, I feel like the doctor didn't give, like, he never apologized for like not getting a hold of us. And we just said, like, we were really scared, really upset, you know, like, we've been trying to get a hold of them and couldn't get a hold of them, and that's what worried us as well, is because we kept seeing her so upset. And obviously we're getting nothing from the doctor, so didn't know what was going on. So anyways, long story short, even though it was a long story, yeah, we're just, basically it sounds like it's a waiting game, but it's not a waiting game that my brother and I like at all. And he's having to take on a lot more because she can only call him, and so she's never had him say the things that she's saying now, like I have when I was 12, and now he's kind of hearing these things. And of course, yeah, I said that I think it's affecting us more, because she's the one constant for us. She's the one that gives us unconditional love. She's the one that is always praising and encouraging us, and our biggest supporter. And it's Dad that plays this role of making us feel like crap. And right now, she's doing it. And so it's just really hard. Like, you know that she's sick, but it just, like, yeah, it's hard. And I mean, the time difference is really hard on me. Like, I could call her before work, but then I'm struggling because if I do get in a fight with her or she says things that are nasty, then I have to sit with that all day as I'm trying to look after these children and do activities and stuff for them. And it's not like I have like a whole team. Like normally you also have a whole team to work with. So like if you don't have the ball, then that's fine. But the way that it works in Australia, you're pretty much isolated on your own. I do have a new worker going to start this week, who will be with me, but he's brand new, and so it's not like I can let him, you know, the ball's in his court. Like, obviously he's going to add some things, but he's mostly going to be learning about the kids and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just tricky. It's really, really tricky. But I actually had this cool moment at work that I'll share. So I do a calendar, and on my calendar, I'm trying to do like a letter of the week focused. And so we're doing letter E at the moment. And I have put on my calendar for this week on Friday or something to kind of make like the world maps, the world, Earth, because Earth starts with E. I'm trying to get it more like scientific and stuff. And so anyways, I was like, oh, I can do that. And anyways, I walked into work yesterday, and a little child was in the office drawing with our manager, our area manager. And she said to me, oh, he drew this really cool picture of Earth. Like, if you go back, you can see it. And so I went back and saw it and was like, that is so cool. And, like, didn't really think anything of it, right? Like, that's really cool that he's drawing Earth. Like, maybe he's talking about planets at home or something. Anyways, I then had like an hour of programming and an hour lunch. So I basically did programming for 2 hours and ate through that. But I looked at my calendar and I just was baffled. And I showed my area manager and I'm like, I wrote this calendar last week because it's now the 5th. And I wrote the calendar on like the 28th or something of March. And I'm like, look what it says on Friday for this coming Friday now. And it says Planet Earth. And they want to do Planet Earth. And I'm like, because it's so about like intentional teaching and trying to be child-led and stuff. So like the way I'm doing things is still not right. Not fully, so I need to figure out that. I was supposed to have an entire PD on Wednesday in town, but that's not happening. But that's got canceled because not just me, but because CCTs are away and stuff. So basically, I'm supposed to have time off the floor with Belinda to kind of go over everything. I just need to get a better grasp on like exactly what they're looking for. There is talk of me even going to Milton, so I need to look into that and spending time with that ECT, just to kind of see how the program runs. Like I just don't feel like I'm getting a grasp on how the program is running and making sure that it is more in line with what the department wants. Like I'm not doing anything wrong and they are learning stuff. But to what exactly the department is looking for and the documentation around that, I'm not quite probably doing that the way that I need to be doing it. And so it's trying to grapple with that, right? And even my area manager who's at ECT and my manager who is at ECT, like she's like, man, there's so many of us that are ECTs and we need to actually be helping you more. Like, that's what they're saying, so that's good. It's just we've been really stressed with work, and there's a gastro bug now going around our center with staff and children, so that's been tricky. Like I worked 2 longer days this week. I had someone faint in my arms, a teacher faint in my arms on Tuesday, and I swear this stuff happens at the same time as other stuff happens. So this teacher fainted in my arms. Luckily, she told me she was about to fall, so I was able to like dumb it up. We really need walkie-talkies, so we're trying to get walkie-talkies so that we could talk from room to room. So I was lucky when she fainted in my arms. Obviously, all the kids were there outside. We were all outside. And somebody was going through the car, and I was able to say, hey, can you go get the manager to come? And so she quickly did, and the kids were like, oh, what's she doing? And I was like, oh, she's just resting. It's fine. Like, she's all good. And, like, she was really embarrassed about it. But at the same time that was happening with her, a little girl had a high temp, like, directly right by her. And so, like, that wasn't cool. And then the same thing happened. And so I had to end up staying late. And then on Thursday, I had to come in early. I actually got Uber to work because a staff member had come in and they were unwell and they needed to go home like immediately because of this bug. And so I got Ubered in. So I did another long shift. I ended up getting to go home early yesterday, which was amazing. I got to have like a little 45 minutes to an hour of rest in bed before I got up, but I'm still so tired. Anyways, there was 2 things that happened yesterday at the exact same time as, I can't even remember what it was, but I mean on Thursday, and I can't remember what it was, but again, it was a sick child and then something going on with a staff member. Like, oh no, it was 2 children. So there was a sick child who had just woken up from a sleep. She hadn't eaten very well. I had told her mom, because her mom's on staff, that she hadn't eaten morning tea or lunch and that, so she was a little bit off. And then she fell asleep, and then she woke up and she was distraught a little bit. Saw her mom in the room and like didn't want to go to her mom, but wanted her mom to come to her. So her mom came to her and then noticed that she had explosive diarrhea. And then also noticed that she had a temperature. But at the same time this was happening, a little boy in my class who can have outbursts that at first start out emotional and then turn into physical outbursts. So he was going off, and so I had to actually get someone in my room to help me take him away so that I could keep myself and the other children safe while he was having an outburst. And it was all because at first he was like drawing nicely with pencil crowns, but then got upset over who knows what. Maybe a child, like I think they were fighting over, they couldn't have just one pencil crown, they were trying to have multiple. And so they started like just having little squabbles over that, and I was trying to say like, let's share. And he went and took a pencil and like got it really close to someone's eye. So I was like, okay, you know what, the pencil crowns are gonna go away. We're gonna have a rest from the pencil crowns because they're not weapons. And then I took that away from him, and then he started kicking, hitting me, and then because I wasn't giving him a reaction, I was just trying to like get the kids, let's all go outside and play, like ignoring the behavior. That, and then he was trying to like roar at me and stuff again, trying to get my reaction. I was not biting. I then took the kids outside, and as we were trying to go outside, he actually was picking stuff up to throw at me. And I was ignoring him, and I didn't think he was going to throw it, but he then did throw something out the window. Out the door, I mean. It didn't hit any of us. It just landed on the grass, which was fine. But he was just going for more things. So I ended up having to just call my manager and just saying, hey, can I have some support out here? And she took him away. Let him go throw some balls and get out some of that aggression somewhere else. And then he went inside and did some drawing. She tried to talk to him about what was going on, couldn't talk to him about what was going on. And then the mom came and picked him up early because he was going camping to have 2 weeks with her and the siblings, because it's school holidays. So yeah, it was really it was crazy. And I'm kind of glad I don't have to deal with that for 2 weeks, especially as I'm trying to deal with my mom. And actually, when he comes back, he's actually a beautiful little boy, but when he comes back, I'll actually be on holiday, so I actually won't see him for almost a whole month. Like, I won't see him again, and now, it's almost, well, not a whole month. I won't see him till April 28th, and it was the 4th of April, so yeah, it'll be a whole 3 weeks that I won't see him. But he'll have the best time camping, he always does. But I will have to warn my colleague who's coming on board about his behavior when he comes back from camping, because he can be a little bit more temperamental when he comes back from camping just in the morning. Yeah. Anyways. So those are my, cool moments and what's been going on. So, like I said, I'm exhausted. I did go out for dinner with church people again. It was mostly just my pastor and this other older lady. So that was nice. And then this other young girl that I am talking to a little bit, she came on board, and she ended up coming late to dinner, but did end up coming. She just got the time wrong. And So that was nice. We talked a little bit about like how we came to faith, because it was interesting because two of us have not grown up in faith households, and then the two of them had grown up in faith households. So yeah, it was interesting to hear kind of the differences in that. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like I'm just gonna have another coffee and then I am going. Yeah, I'm watching Young and the Restless. I'm watching American Idol. No, not American Idol. Australia Idol. Yeah. I just feel like I have no energy. I should go out for a walk because it's beautiful outside. But I'm just so tired. Just so tired. Anyways, have a good day.